The alien hunters had never seen anything like it. Across the jagged plains of Varlanix, creatures that could rip a mountain in half crouched in the shadows, their multi-limbed bodies vibrating with hunger and anticipation. The humans had arrived in small numbers, fragile-looking, naked in their vulnerability against the predator's razored teeth and obsidian claws. The invaders expected a quick, bloody spectacle. They had counted on fear. They had counted on the humans screaming. But this human, he did nothing. He stood alone on a flat stone outcrop, his arms crossed loosely over his chest, his eyes calm, unblinking, and patient. The wind whipped the red dust around him, throwing jagged shadows against the rocky surface, but he did not flinch. He did not move. The predators watched. Their compound eyes reflected the sun, and a low growl reverberated from their throats. There were at least a dozen of them, all of different shapes and sizes. Some had scales like molten metal, others had fur that shimmered like liquid silver. One thing united them all: they were carnivores. Every instinct in their bodies screamed at them to attack. The human did not scream. The first predator, a massive, four-armed brute with horns like twisted steel, it stepped forward, claws scraping the stone. The other predators shifted, circling, coiling, each one anticipating the kill. The human tilted his head slightly, as though considering something far away. Then he sat. A predator snarled and leaped forward, faster than thought, jaws wide. But the human did not move. He simply extended a hand, palm up, and a soundless warning rippled through the air. The predator slammed into the air where the human had been a heartbeat before, momentum throwing it back with a thundering crash. Dust exploded around the creature. The others hesitated. Silence, it was deafening. The predators had no patience. They were built for instant killing, for quick strikes, for blood. They were apex hunters in a galaxy where survival was measured in seconds. Yet here, in this barren canyon, they found themselves stalled. The human did not attack. He did not run. He did not panic. He simply waited, and then they began to sense it. The human silence was not empty. It was filled with something older, something primal. The predators felt the weight of it in their limbs, a pull in their instincts that they could not name. He was calm, unshakable, patient, dangerous. One of the smaller predators, a sleek, sinewy thing with eyes that glowed like molten gold, stepped closer. Its head tilted, sniffing. The human held his gaze, steady and unyielding. Another predator growled, low and warningly, but the first did not retreat. It sniffed again, its claws dug into the stone, its tail coiling. The human's eyes did not move. He did not flinch. The predators began to whisper to each other, a sound like wind across broken metal. They had never been challenged like this. Not by humans, not by anything. The humans they had hunted on other worlds screamed. They ran. They fought desperately, yet always made mistakes. But this one, this human, was an anomaly. The wind shifted, carrying a faint scent of earth with it. Moss, rain, iron, the smell of life as it once existed on a blue planet. The human inhaled it deeply. The predators froze. Something within them recoiled. Something they could not understand. It was patience. It was silence. It was law. The human stood slowly, his movements deliberate. One predator lunged, testing him, and the human sidestepped without a sound. He extended a hand, and the predator paused, its instinct screaming, yet obeying a command it could not name. Another predator snarled. The human's voice was quiet, almost imperceptible. Leave. It was not a threat. It was a law. The predators sensed it, primitive and universal. The law of Earth, older than weapons, older than fire, older than civilization itself. The law of self-restraint, of observation, of patience. The predators had never encountered it in a living being. Their instincts screamed at them to strike, but their minds hesitated. Their instincts could not override what the human embodied. Hours passed, or perhaps minutes. Time had lost meaning. The predators circled, testing, calculating. The human did not move. He crouched, he studied, he waited. Then one predator blinked. Slowly, it stepped back. Its tail lowered. The others followed. Slowly, warily, they began to retreat, fading into the crimson dust-like shadows, leaving at dusk. Not a single tooth was bared. Not a drop of blood was spilled. The human exhaled softly, the first sound he had made in hours. He had won without a fight. Later, when his companions arrived, they found him alone atop the stone outcrop. His eyes were calm but alert. His hands were still empty. They had expected a battlefield, carnage, bodies strewn across the canyon. But there was nothing. Silence reigned. The predators had left, and not a single creature had dared challenge the human. One of his companions, younger and trembling, asked, "How? How did you do it? They could have torn you apart." The human smiled faintly. They expected blood. They expected fear. But I gave them something they could not digest. Silence, patience, law. The oldest law in the universe. Respect life. Respect patience. Respect the unknown. Sometimes the greatest strength is not in killing, but in waiting. Another human frowned, skeptical. They are predators. Killing is instinct for them. How can silence stop that? The human's gaze swept the horizon. Instinct is powerful, yes, but it is not the only law. The universe balances itself with more than teeth and claws. Patience is as strong as any predator's strike. Silence is louder than any roar. The oldest law is this: understanding. Survival is not only about power, it is about knowing when to fight, when to wait, and when to let life continue. The companions absorbed his words. Some understood immediately. Others would only understand after they faced death themselves. From that day, the human became a legend across the outposts of Val and Ix. Word spread of the human who could face the deadliest, predators without a weapon and survive. Other species whispered it in fear and awe. The human does not fear. The human waits. The human knows the oldest law. Predators never challenged him again. Wherever he went, their instincts screamed, yet hesitated. They learned to recognize the pattern. Humans could wield patience like a blade, silence like armor. Earth's oldest law as a weapon more terrifying than any fang or claw. The human did not rejoice in the legend. He did not seek recognition. He walked among the stars, calm and patient, always observing. But the story followed him. Creatures, once proud and deadly, now paused when a human was near. That pause an echo of silence and lost-haved countless lives. It preserved worlds one day. A predator, elder a creature that had hunted across countless systems, approached the human cautiously. Its eyes no longer burned with hunger. Instead, they held curiosity. "You are different," it rasped. "We hunt, we kill. It is our nature. Yet you survive without striking. How? The human looked at it steadily. Because you expect what I will give you. I give you nothing but patience. And patience is stronger than teeth. The elder blinked, understanding dawning. It stepped back. A choice it had never made before, to leave life unclaimed. And that choice, made once, became two, then three, then countless. The predators learnt restraint. The humans learned respect. And a small, silent law, older than fire, older than empires, survived in a new corner of the galaxy. The universe itself paused that day. For a predator expected blood, but a human gave it silence. And in that silence, life endured. Asterisk.